Got a busy show here on Chicago Bears Now. A Jayden Daniels update from Washington. Is his status changed on Sunday? We'll talk about that. Bears injury updates galore. A lot of new information coming out of the bye week. And Caleb Williams spoke to the media today. Talked about returning home. He's from the D.C. area and this matchup with Washington. Have a few takeaways from that as well. But before we get to all of that, our Commanders host, Jack Sperry, had a very strong message for you guys.
Bears fans, I don't know if Jayden Daniels is going to play this weekend for my Commanders, but I can tell you this right now. I don't care if it's Jayden Daniels or Marcus Mariota. This offense with Kliff Kingsbury, Terry McLaurin, the whole 9 yards, they're going to make your top 5 scoring defense look like Swiss cheese on your home turf this weekend. Plus, we're going to beat you in this sub battle. Go ahead right now, raise some hail, and go ahead and click that subscribe button for my buddy Graham.
At least he showed a little love at the end. Called me his good friend, whatever. Nah, Sperry's a good dude, but we got to kick their ass and new subscribers. I mean, I got to say, they've come out the gate swinging. We cannot let this continue. So hit that subscribe button here on Chicago Bears Now. Let's take them down in new subs this week. Take them down on the field on Sunday. Let's freaking go. All right, Jayden Daniels update. He did not practice on Wednesday, still dealing with that rib injury. His status for Sunday at this point is clearly unknown at best. I would say my gut feeling is he doesn't play. I was talking to Sperry about this. I was like, doesn't it kind of just feel like they're just going to give him a week? Washington's 5-2, better than expected. They may just want to give him the week off. Could be a pain tolerance thing. Could be a further risk of injury. Who knows what the reasons are? And again, we don't know for sure yet. I would say tomorrow's critical. If he's a DNP again tomorrow, does not practice, I'd be surprised if he played Sunday. Being a rookie quarterback, if you don't practice on the 2 key days, which is Wednesday and Thursday, seems unlikely, but the final injury report wouldn't be until Friday or even Saturday sometimes. And this would be a big deal. I know Marcus Mariota against Carolina looked the part, but Jayden Daniels obviously is who they would prefer to have out there. He's having an excellent rookie season, playing really well, and, from a just entertainment standpoint, and just quite frankly, an honest standpoint, I want to see him out there. I want to see Caleb versus Jayden. The NFL clearly wants to see it. That's why they flexed this game into the CBS afternoon slot for Tony Romo and Jim Nantz to call, because it's a bigger audience time slot. So whether or not we get it, that remains to be seen. If you had to ask me right now what my gut feeling is, like I said, I think he sits out, but, we'll see how they handle it. And I know some people keep saying Jayden ducking. I'm not going to go there. Like, he's their franchise guy. Like, if they're concerned about further injury, they might just sit him a week. And it is what it is. But I will say, I had this concern coming out of college, and we're seeing it already. His thin, wiry frame has me concerned when he takes big NFL hits, which, by the way, the hit he took was kind of a standard tackle. So, that's Washington's problem, not ours. What do you guys think? Will Jayden Daniels play on Sunday? This will be the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get hit with the YouTube ad break, reply with a P for play or a W for won't. All right, we get to some Bears injury updates now. Matt Eberflus announcing the latest on several players, plus we'll have the full injury report from practice here in just a few moments. But let's start with a couple of big ones. Jaquan Brisker still day-to-day, did not practice on Wednesday, still in the concussion protocol. Flus told us on Monday that there's still a couple steps to clear. There's clearly still at least one to clear. I would say tomorrow's critical. Like, if he's not out there in some capacity, I would say his chances of clearing before game time Sunday seem slim. Kyler Gordon, day-to-day with the hamstring injury. We'll see if he goes. I'd say Gordon's 50-50. I'd put Brisker 40-60 for Sunday. Just kind of my Harrison guesstimate radar here. I'd say Brisker is dipped below 50-50, considering he wasn't even limited today, because when you're in the concussion protocol, you can reach a stage where you're at least limited in practice. He's not even there yet, so seems unlikely that he's going to clear all the steps this week. Gordon, hamstring, day-to-day. We'll see tomorrow if he's able to do anything. If he is, I'd say he has a decent chance of playing. And it'd be huge to at least get one of these guys back for Sunday, right? Jayden or not, like, you'd prefer to not have multiple starters in your secondary out against an offense that's been pretty prolific so far. So hopefully at least one of those two guys can go. That would be very, very big. Let's talk about a couple of guys who are on short-term IR. Travis Homer, one of them, having his practice window opened today as he had finger surgery. I think he fractured a finger or something like that. Well, his practice window to return has been opened. That means the Bears have 21 days to either activate him to the 53 or leave him on IR for the rest of the season. I do wonder if they activate him, could that signal an exit for Khalil Herbert or Velus Jones? Not sure. Larry Borom, who has not been on the active 53 all year. Remember, he was one of their short-term IR stashes out of training camp, him and Jacob Martin, who we'll talk about in a second. He also had his practice window opened. Another depth guy who can play swing tackle, kick inside if you need to as well. So a couple of guys that could be coming back soon. The full injury report here. Here are the non-IR guys. We mentioned Gordon and Brisker did not practice. Zach Pickens, Terrell Smith, both limited. That's a step in the right direction. They have not practiced in over a month. Tyreek Stevenson limited with that calf. He tweaked his calf on Thursday before the London game, so 13 days ago. Scott Daly, full participant, so it sounds like the long snapper is going to be just fine, which when he suffered that injury initially in that London game, you're like, oh, they already ruled him out. That can't be good, but he avoided major injury. It looks like he's going to be good to go. The guys who are on short-term IR, Jacob Martin, full participant. He was a full participant in that last practice before the London game, but they did not activate him, so they got to make a decision on him pretty soon in the 21-day window if they're going to bring him back or leave him on IR. Borom and Homer, who we talked about a little bit ago, they were limited today, so we'll see if they get to full participant status and potentially get activated to the 53 this week or not. The Commanders' injury report, got a lot of them. I didn't even mention a guy who practiced in full, who was Emmanuel Forbes, but he was a full participant, so left him off here. Talked about Jayden Daniels. Brandon Coleman, he's in the concussion protocol, one of their starting offensive linemen. Nick Allegretti limited, so was Dorrance Armstrong. Tyler Biadasz and Allegretti, keep an eye on those guys, two of their starting offensive linemen. De'Ami Brown limited with an ankle injury. Cleveland Ferrell limited with the knee. Dante Fowler limited with the groin. Cornelius Lucas with the neck. And then Tyler Owens, who was inactive last week, limited with a shin injury. Today's show is sponsored by Mando. Awesome products for you fellas out there to just smell good and not be the smelly guy in the group. Check out shopmando.com and use code CHAT to get $5 off. I'm sure you've heard me talk about the Mando whole body deodorant at this point since I've been using it for quite a while now. I can't recommend it enough to you. I personally like all of their products, but I've got the body wash right here, the bourbon leather flavor, which is just absolutely fantastic smelling. And it's one of their products you use in the shower, but they got plenty of products that you can use just on the move. Maybe you don't have time to get home for a shower. The deodorant wipes that are easy to use and just throw away when you are on the go are fantastic. Mando is clinically proven to control odor for up to 72 hours with some of their products. Safe for your entire body, yes, pits, package, feet, everywhere in between. Stops odor before it starts, and it's available in awesome 4 cologne quality scents. I mentioned the bourbon leather. Mount Fuji is a good one. Pro Sport and Clover Woods are available as well. Stop being the smelly guy in your group. Check out Mando's products today, including the starter pack, which comes with the solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and more. New customers get $5 off of the starter pack, which is the best way to go, with code CHAT at shopmando.com. So use code CHAT for shopmando.com to get $5 off the starter pack. You're going to be good to go. Check out Mando today. Link is in the comments and in the description of this video. All right, Caleb Williams had his weekly presser at Halisol today as well, and obviously it's a bit of a homecoming for him. He was from the D.C. area. Remember all those rumors? Maybe Washington will trade up and get him. The Bears were never going to do that, but that storyline was out there, and there was a couple of things I wanted to hit on that he discussed when talking about this matchup, and obviously he was asked quite a bit about Jayden Daniels, what does it mean to go one-on-one against him? He was the first, or you're the first pick, he was the second pick, yada, yada, yada. He was nothing but complimentary of Jayden. And, you know, he said, look, I hope he plays. It only makes the game better. My job is to win games on Thursdays, Sundays, and Mondays for the Chicago Bears. That's it. And that answer was in response to, like, do you get caught up in the hoopla of you versus Jayden, all that stuff? And very professional answer of like, look, I'm here to win games for the Bears. Like, Jayden is going to do what he's going to do for Washington. I do got to think deep down, like, he sees the social media. He saw the stuff the first few weeks of the season, like, oh, Jayden's way better than Caleb. The Bears made a mistake. You got to think Caleb really wants this one. He's going home. He's going up against the number 2 pick who's been getting more hype and accolades than he has. I would think that, Caleb answered that question you'd want him the way you'd want him to. But if Jayden plays in particular, you got to think he's going to want to outplay him and beat him in this matchup. Number 2, just returning back to the D.C. area. Obviously grew up there and in Maryland for some of his childhood as well. He talked about, lifelong friends and family, all that stuff. And I found this pretty interesting. He said he's only been back to the D.C. area once or twice since leaving high school. So if you remember, when he went to Oklahoma, like his parents, I'm pretty sure his parents moved and followed him there. Then same thing to Southern California. His parents are obviously very involved in his life. But he did mention, I gave out my full allotment of tickets. We're still trying to figure out a few more for certain people, so trying to get that all lined up. Clearly has a lot of people in that area coming to watch him play, so it should be a special moment for him. And then last one was Kliff Kingsbury, who was on the USC staff last year, obviously worked with the quarterbacks, which including Caleb at USC, talked about how he's a player's coach and how they've had, some limited contact since the season ended. I think there's some rules. You can't, just call opposing players and coaches all the time. I don't know the exact rules of that, but, there's been a, hey, good job in your game, vice versa, all that stuff. So clearly the way he talked about Kliff, like he's someone he appreciates a lot in his development and all that stuff. And look, he was also asked about Kliff interviewing here, and he was like, I didn't know for sure at the time I was going to be a Bear, so I didn't think too much of it at the time. But obviously that would have been a very interesting dynamic if it did happen. But I think it's worked out for everyone. Kliff and Jayden working well together. Caleb and Shade Waldron seem to be finding their footing as well. And all is well that ends well. And now they go up against one another. Should be a fun week. And again, I'd like to see Jayden play in this game. Whether or not he does, that remains to be seen. But obviously it creates for even more dynamics in this matchup. Fill in the blank. Caleb Williams will have blank touchdowns this week. He had 4 the last time he played. I'll go 3. I'll take 1 away from him. If he has back-to-back 4 tutty games, that's going to be pretty exciting. But do think he has a hat trick. Let's go 2 passing, 1 rushing. How about that? He finds the end zone on the ground for the first time this year. All right, there you have it. Chicago Bears now coming at you here on a Wednesday afternoon. The latest on Jayden, latest Bears injury updates, and a whole lot more. Plenty to come tomorrow. We'll have a video up in the morning, plus our Bears live stream, 4 o'clock Central tomorrow afternoon. So be sure to join us for that. My name is Harrison Graham. Bear down.